Welcome to Point Blank, brought to you by Fitz Roofing. I am Brandon Strange. He is Joe Blank. I want to talk some Texans with you. The biggest variable of whether this team succeeds or fails is going to be, I think, health, right? If the core stays healthy, the perception of Bill O'Brien looks a lot different than it does right now, right?
Yeah, it could very well because of the fact that in years past, what have we been complaining about? The offensive line. Well, the offensive line seems to have gotten a lot better, and they're going to be above average, which is rare for a Texans team. So Watson gets more time. The biggest question mark is in the backfield and with injuries again. If they can stay healthy at all the skill positions, they do have a stable of tight ends that seem to get the job done. But David Johnson's the biggest question mark of all because if you let a Carlos Hyde go and he got over 1,000 yards and he was very effective for you, and you trade for a guy that's making a ton more money that hasn't been as effective when he came from the Arizona Cardinals, you have a lot riding on his shoulders as well as Deshaun. But injuries are going to be the key for this team in so many ways because they have to go with the guys they have. And with the way that everything's set up because of the coronavirus, it's going to be tough to implement all the young players that they're bringing in. So it's going to be a veteran-laden team that has to stay healthy and execute the game plan week in, week out. From a veteran standpoint, you think they're going to be able to do that. From an injury standpoint, we just don't know because durability has been a factor with this team for the last 5 years. It continues to be a factor with the roster that you see on paper right now. And so now you have to just rely on your medical staff and the conditioning. Again, in a very, very disoriented offseason, you're expecting your guys to stay in shape and then be ready when you do start camp and then hope that they can stick it out for an entire season with just minimal injuries.
Tell us about the special that Fitz Roofing is running right now.
Yeah, right now Fitz Roofing is making a difference for all the people of Houston. They know it's been some tough times. So right now they're doing minor repairs for free. If you call them at 832-521-3001 and set up a free no obligation inspection, if it's just minor repairs that need to be done on your roof, they're going to do it for free. It keeps their people busy and it keeps you in a place where a peace of mind. You don't have to worry about that. You can worry about other things with all the things that financially are going to be a struggle for people to get out of this virus situation. 832-521-3001, Fitz Roofing, making a difference one home at a time.
Absolutely. Thanks to our video sponsors at Fitz Roofing. One of those consistent question marks has been Will Fuller. And, last year you're talking soft tissue injuries. And with an injury like that, you can rehab and stretch, and there's ways at least to be preventative somewhat. In the case of Brandon Cooks, though, he's had 4 concussions in the last 2 calendar years. So aren't the stakes a little higher for him?
Absolutely, but you look at the entire receiving core, and the biggest thing that you say is, well, on paper, they might be the most complete set of receivers in the league. But on the field, they may be the most question marks of any receiving core in the NFL because of the injuries. And it's one thing to say Will Fuller is the Carlos Correa of the Houston Texans, and he's injured as much as he plays. And we know that Randall Cobb, during the second half of his career, has had a real issue staying healthy. But the bigger thing is like you said, leg injuries and other injuries, those are things that happen as part of the game. But the head injuries and the consistency in the amount of concussions that he has racked up in a short period of time is a huge concern. Because this is a guy that was really looking to have a big game in the Super Bowl and was knocked out in the first quarter by one big hit. We all know that studies show the more concussions you get, the more lasting effects you have. And so that's what you really have to worry about because the first time he takes a big hit in a game, everybody's going to hold their breath if you're a Texans fan because if he doesn't get up or he gets up and he's wobbly, that doesn't just mean he may be out for the game. That might be he might be out for the season. And it could be a career-threatening injury as well. So it's something that has to be paid very close attention to, and it's something that should have been factored in a lot more when you made the trade that you did, thinking that you were going to rely on this guy heavily, especially because the rumors are out there, guys, that when you talk about the 3 guys that are going to be their main guys on the outside and in the slot, Kenny Stills isn't one of those guys. And so the rumor is they're trading him. They just want a 7th-round pick to get his $7 million off the cap. If that's the case, now you're really setting yourself up for failure with your depth chart.
Would you do that, or would you rather have Stills around as an insurance policy for Fuller or one of these other guys?
There's no way in my mind, if I want to win and I'm the Houston Texans, that I trade Kenny Stills, simply because outside of DeAndre Hopkins last year, he was the big guy that came up with the big plays, whether it be a first down or a touchdown or a massive play when they really needed it on a drive that they had to have. I think there's a guy that, he's young. He's proven himself that once he got to Houston, he made a difference in a short period of time, and I think you can rely on him. And the other big factor is exactly what we were talking about. He stays healthy. That's a guy you want on the field that's going to be there in clutch situations. You can't say that about Will Fuller. You can't say it about Randall Cobb anymore in the last couple of years. And you don't know if you can ever say it about Brandon Cooks based on the concussions.